Hi, I'm author Kharisma, and I'm here today with a book reading from my very first book, A Taste of Bittersweet Fruit. You can order it online on my website at www.millerpublishingcharisma.com. That's Kharisma. I'm going to start off by reading the first chapter with Khaila as the main character. Damn, baby, you know we need to argue more often, I screamed out in ecstasy, pulling DC's long, smooth locks until he moaned painfully. No, we don't. Let go of my head, girl. That shit hurts, he replied while rubbing his sore scalp with his fingertips. I'm sorry, boo. You know how I get when we make love. DC licked his luscious full lips and told me, yeah, I know. That's why we don't need to argue. It leads to this violence. My violence had interrupted our beautiful rhythm to allow him to massage his wounds. DC whispered sweet things in my ear and gently kissed each lobe. I slowly and passionately stroked on top, all the while screaming his name. He palmed and savored my brown apple bottom, moving it up and down to his cadence. He looked at me as if he could eat every morsel of my sugary caramel. I could tell he was ready to explode. He began to thrust harder and faster to complete his mission. Slow down, baby. Let's take our time. I'm enjoying every minute of this, I said, trying to savor another dosage of DC's good loving. Everything was so sensual and beautiful. I wish I could have preserved the moment forever. I was completely taken in by the sweet aroma of vanilla-scented candles lingering in the air, as well as the smooth sounds of contemporary jazz in the background. As I licked him from head to toe, I could taste salt on DC's skin. His sexy, smooth chocolate frame, a sculptured work of art, was perfect in every way. The feel of his warm, moist body next to mine was like bathing in smooth buttermilk. I would have been crazy not to be totally drawn into his presence. I laid softly on DC's chest, biting hungrily on his neck. I could tell DC wanted me to stop, but it felt so good he could not get the words out. He knew he would pay for the love bites later, with the stinging sensation and purple bruises he would usually endure. He told me over and over again he didn't like the passion marks, but he knew I couldn't help it. He finally gave in and decided to stop complaining about it. I could tell he loved me every time I saw his face, the love overflowing from the warmth of his embrace, the width of his broad, pearly white smile, and the intensity of his big brown eyes. He used to tell me all the time he wanted to marry me, but he felt he had nothing to offer in wife. He constantly dwelled on how he had no car, no place of his own, nothing but a high school education and a sad excuse for a job, as he put it. He figured his sponging off me needed to stop, and soon. DC startled me back to reality. Baby, you all right? You got quiet all of a sudden. It's not like you to be this quiet. Yeah, I was just thinking about how good you feel. Uh-huh, whatever, girl. I know something's not right with you. DC knew me like the back of his hand. He knew I was concerned about him and his inner struggles, which usually involved money. He felt he was useless in my life, and I would always tell him everything was going to work out, and I would be there for him. I loved and respected DC, even if he didn't have much, because I know he worked hard to make it. I knew about his grim background and understood why he struggled so much. His family lived in Bronx, New York, poor and unhappy until his mother died in 1999 of lung cancer at an early age of 55. DC was very close to his mother. He loved her more than anyone or anything else in the world. His father, who still lived in Brooklyn, New York, had always been in and out of DC's life since the beginning. His parents never married. DC's father always had a couple girlfriends at a time, which usually were used for money or shelter. He never did stay in one place long. His father was just a rolling stone, as the Temptations would say. Although D.C. would never admit it aloud, he wanted to have a stable relationship with his father, and it hurt him that his father was barely ever there. His older brother Vay never was a supportive type either, and was rarely there for D.C. when he needed him. Needless to say, they were not close emotionally, even living together as roommates for almost 5 years. My distant thoughts were interrupted again when D.C. remarked, "Everything will be all right, as long as you're here with me, Kai. So stop worrying about me and get back to business, woman," he said jokingly. D.C. flipped me over and began to thrust deeply inside me again. I was enjoying every minute of his good loving and forgot where my mind had gone for the moment. I quietly moaned, gently biting my bottom lip. Then he hit my spot. Okay, so that is a preview of the very first chapter of A Taste of Bittersweet Fruit. Again, you can order this book online on my website, www.millerpublishingcharisma.com. That's Kharisma. Thank you so much for joining me.